Hello everyone, welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm Danielle Stimpson and I'm so glad that you are here today. If you'd like to check out any information about my online Reiki classes, community Discord, or social media, or even my crystal shop, all of the information is below in the comments. And if you are new here, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're watching this on the replay, you're going to have just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. All of my regular days and times for streaming, I'm here 5 times a week, are listed in the description below as well. There will be some added streams around Christmas and New Year's in addition to the regularly scheduled ones. All of the regularly scheduled ones will be happening at the regularly scheduled times. But if you'd like to know about those extra ones, go ahead and click subscribe and the notification bell so that you will be the first to know of an opportunity to get some healing. If you're here live, go ahead and click that live chat button and make any requests that you happen to have for your personal well-being or any healing intentions at all. We're going to start off by building a beautiful crystal grid together. We'll do that for the first 45 minutes or so. And after we are done with that, I will turn the lights down, turn the music up, and I will send Reiki healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be for at least 25 minutes. If you are here and you are watching this on the replay, hello from the past. You can go ahead and skip ahead to just the healing portion if you would like to. But if you would like to just hang out and learn a little bit about some crystals, go ahead and continue on. And let's go ahead and say hi to everybody that's here. Start on that grid. And yeah, let me put this spiral there. So let's go ahead and start off with our grid. Hello everyone. So let's see, who do we have? We have Chris, Grace, Maria, and Bethany. Hello, happy solstice. Absolutely. Thank you, Bethany. Thank you for the reminder. Absolutely happy solstice. Let's go ahead and start putting some of those requests in here. I know we have one from Grace. Let's see. Heart healing, the past, and to invite happiness. I love it. So let's go ahead and start with some heart healing. There's so many good choices, but let's see. We haven't used rhodonite in a while. Let's use that. We'll use rhodonite and some rose quartz because we used that yesterday for the first time in a while, and that felt really nice too. So rhodonite is helpful for heartache, heartbreak, unrequited love. It's also helpful for grief of love lost, regardless of how that ended, if it was like the end of a relationship or if a partner passed away. It's great for things like insecurities, especially anybody who's survived emotional abuse around belittling and demeaning and degrading. This can also be really helpful for healing that. This is one that helps to rebalance the yin and yang within the body. And lots of folks actually use it for the lungs and allergies, asthma, things like that. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring that in. So that's rhodonite. And here in the center, we have copper. Copper helps to get the energy flowing, breaks up blockages. And let's see. Heart healing, the past. Hey, Jennifer, Belinda, good to see you both. Let's see, the past and invite happiness. Definitely to invite happiness. We've been working with yellow calcite the last several streams, and it's just been feeling wonderful, I think, for everybody. So let's go ahead and bring some of that in. Yellow calcite is absolutely a joy stone. This is a stone that works with the solar plexus chakra, which is our center of self, our personal will, what brings us forward, what motivates us. This is one that allows us to take some joyful pride in who we are. Not like the jealous, boastful pride, but more like the I am proud of who I am, and I'm going to move forward in that. So this allows us to really experience our own joy and joy in who we are. So let's go ahead and bring that in. I have redone the little cat viewing zone in the corner, so just keeping an eye on how it works for them. And let's see. And healing for the past. definitely too, this is woulda, coulda, shouldas for rhodonite. Let's see. Let's bring in a little bit of chrysoprase. Chrysoprase is great for moving through things like disappointment and regrets. Disappointment, regrets, anytime that we have been disappointed either in ourselves or in just a situation, things didn't work out the way that we wanted to. This helps us to take a break, take a beat, and get some perspective on who we've become, who we are, and where we can kind of pick up and redirect our efforts from here. This is also fantastic if you're having something like picking up the pieces after something has ended, but also if you're just working on something that has a very long timeline, like you're working towards an advanced degree or something along those lines, and it just feels like, I feel like I still have so much farther to go. I don't know if I can keep going on this path. This helps with burnout in that it shows you, hey, you really have come a lot farther than you may be able to see right now in this moment. So it allows you to gain a little bit of perspective in how far you've come. Let's see. Put that in here too. It's a very heart-centered stone. So I hope that that's helpful for you. It's a great anti-burnout crystal for us. Yes, definitely happy solstice. Okay, let's see what we got. So we've got your sister, who has spinal stenosis, if I recall. Frank, who's struggling with aftermath of a stroke, if I recall. Low metabolism, breathing, smoking cessation, financial abundance, and Kundalini awakening. Okay, we gotcha. So let's do some Amazonite, which can help with the spinal stenosis. Amazonite helps with the spinal nerves, as well as anytime somebody is sort of like that natural caregiver type. This is one that helps caretakers to see that they not only deserve the same kind of treatment and care that they show others, that they actually need it. So this is very much the caregiver stone. This is a stone that can really be deeply calming as well, and especially in cases of, like I had said, the spinal nerves, the spine itself, and any kind of nerve pain that comes from it. So things like sciatica, things like spinal stenosis, things like that. This can be a very helpful stone. So let's go ahead and bring this in. Yeah, this is a superb gift for any of the nurses out here. I know we have lots of nurses that join us, but anybody whose phone normally rings when things kind of hit the fan, you're a caregiver. This is a stone for you. We've also got blue kyanite will definitely help with Frank. This is one that helps with healing from stroke, particularly in regards to speech and mobility. And it's also a stone that can help you to better understand the intuition that you get. So whether it's in dreams, when you're card reading, or just like your gut and you're like, I feel like I'm getting a message, but I'm not quite sure what it says. This is one that can help you to kind of decode it a little bit better. It's also a stone that I would recommend to anyone who can benefit from just pride in themselves. In that regard, it can be a really good complement with yellow calcite. This is one of radical self-acceptance, like that, again, that pride that's not about being boastful, but like I am proud of who I fundamentally am. So blue kyanite. And we've got some financial stuff, definitely. Okay, cool. So let's do aragonite with Caribbean calcite. This is a stone that helps us to really open the main energy channel that actually runs up through all of the chakras, as it really focuses on the lower chakras, including the root and the earth star, which helps us in enacting our soul's purpose, as well as our soul star and our crown, which is seeing, sensing, and feeling connected to our soul's purpose, having a clear vision of it. In this way, it helps to allow the rise of Kundalini energy, which is your own energy that is coiled at the base of the spine. When all of the chakras are open and in alignment, that energy can more easily flow. This helps not only to allow that to happen, it helps it to happen a little bit more evenly, so it can be a little less overwhelming or jarring. So it helps you to connect with that flow of energy without it being too much. So let's go ahead and bring that in. We've also got some sapphire request, smoking cessation, low metabolism, herkimer can help, iolite, peridot. Okay, good stuff. And keep the requests coming. I will definitely get them. Intention, enjoying every extra second of daylight after the solstice stones, sunstone. Yes, bring on some daylight, please. Bring on some daylight. Peridot is a great stone for breaking up cycles and habits. It's also a stone that helps us to create and deepen relationships that help support the positive cycles and habits and better choices in our lives. It's known as a friendship stone, though it's also fantastic for self-improvement. Just going to go ahead and trickle them into the copper there. Iolite is one that I know Korakar isn't here at the moment, but Korakar's been working on Psychopomp, which is like shamanic journeying, visionary meditations in a sense. This can help with that this is iolite. This can help with that with bringing in those visions, making them more clear. It's also really helpful with weight loss if that's your intention. It can be very helpful with money managing and even fever. So it's used for a pretty diverse bunch of things. And Chris had requested it, so I'll bring in some iolite. We've got herkimer, which helps for manifesting. I'm also going to include some intention on this for Susan and Greg, who are regulars. Herkimer helps with manifesting in the more deeply spiritual and communal sense, that what we're asking for, we ask that it be connected to the right people, and that it also be in the best alignment with everyone else that it touches. It's a very spiritual and very thoughtful way to go about manifesting. Also really helpful for being in the present moment. I mean, we can always use a little help with that, but especially around the holidays, it gets just that much harder. For what it's worth, too, discordant energies, I mean, always helpful, but especially around the holidays. Anytime that we have energy that doesn't feel like it's quite gelling, something just feels off, this can help harmonize it. This is also fantastic for metabolism, so to support Chris's request. And also intuitive abilities. So for that, we'll put it near the blue kyanite. There we go. Unakite is superb for quitting smoking, for smoking cessation, and what an amazing goal. I did it years ago. It was not easy, but I did it. Acupuncture was helpful too, but Unakite helps not only with smoking cessation, but it is very linked with anything having to do with women's health, hormones, pregnancy, fertility, onset of menses, menopause, and metabolism, especially if it is connected to hormones. So I'll bring this in. Sapphire is the stone of mediumship. It is an intense psychic support. It helps to intensify and deepen any intuitive channel so that we can get really clear information through, especially if we are bringing through intuitive information on behalf of someone else. It helps with that translation portion, that this is what I'm hearing and this is how I'm sharing it. I do that a lot when I do tarot readings for folks. So yeah, it can be very helpful. It can be a little ungrounding. So if you've not yet mastered the art of energetically grounding, definitely work with that a little bit first. You can also use some grounding stones with this, like darker, heavier stones. And red stones like red jasper can be helpful. Different stones like black onyx can be protective and grounding. Hematite can be very grounding. But we're going to go ahead and put this with the intuitive stones here. And we had a request for hematite, which is, like I said, very grounding. Helps us to clear energy, connecting it to the earth and just sort of releasing. This one's been used back into even pre-biblical times. This one was very highly regarded throughout lots of different cultures and societies. Even back then, it was really thought to help even clear the blood, and it was linked to the blood and has even the prefix hema because it's basically has a lot of iron in it, so much so that you could even magnetize it, and often you can find magnetized hematite on the market. This is one that's thought to help in a way like clear the blood or clear what no longer serves. I would say this is more of an energetic sort of thing, but you know, use it as you wish. But it is very grounding. It's very physically heavy. It's good for releasing energy that you kind of want to let go of. So let's go ahead and put some right up around here. So that's hematite, and you had some other requests there too. Ooh, somebody requested garnet. Absolutely. Your knee is flaring up and it's autoimmune. Absolutely. Autoimmune stuff, rhodonite can be really helpful for autoimmune. It's not the only one by far, but it can be very helpful, and that's here. And lapis will help with pain and inflammation as well. So let's go ahead, and you had some requests up here. Ooh. I have a cat that's trying to climb me and missed. Oh no, here you go. Oh, you're growing so fast, you don't know where one part of you starts and the other part ends. These guys are too cute. Yeah, lapis, and let's see. Aqua Aura and Ametrine are the two that I hadn't gotten yet. Aqua Aura, a lot of us have been finding this helpful for, speaking of short days, can be very helpful for things like seasonal affective disorder and just straight up depression. A lot of us here really struggle with that. Me too. I mean, I find this to be very helpful alongside my meds, alongside everything else I do. But yeah, it's actually clear quartz that was put through a process using gold. And so it's not one you'll see to look up very often. Some folks really start to avoid stones that have been processed through the hands of man, and others there's just not a lot of historic data on it because it's only been around for a very limited time. So we'll bring that in as well. I don't know where that's eventually going to end up, but we'll put that here for now. And ametrine. So citrine for financial abundance, which I'll end up adding in. Citrine is a stone that can help with calling in financial abundance, as well as balancing intuition and logic for like a more well-rounded way of looking at what you have coming in. and amethyst, which is fantastic for self-improvement. Yeah, cat finally found their way up. So if you can see her, her name is Gertie. This is, for those of you who haven't been back in a while, these are my foster fails. I was fostering them and I decided that they're just too adorable and they need to stay. So they're here with me forever now. Yeah, little Gertie. You're my little Gertie. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, you got to share my hand today. Yeah. And amethyst, which is, like I said, fantastic for self-improvement, often linked with things like the 12-step programs, but helps us to open up a little bit more spiritually. It can be a stone that helps us to experience new opportunities in spirituality, as well as even just spirituality for the first time we're kind of experiencing it. It's great for calmness, aiding sleep, and just generally boosting your mood. These two stones do form next to each other naturally. Citrine is basically what happens to amethyst naturally when it's exposed to heat and pressure over time. So oftentimes you'll see a specimen that has a little bit of both, so it enhances the spiritual quality of each. This specimen does have both, so this will be called Ametrine. And so I think that's cool. I'm also going to bring in some citrine because I know we're going to have requests for financial abundance, and Cora Carr usually has a request at least for her mother with financial abundance too. And I think we might get a kitty balm on the crystal grid. We'll see. So this is citrine by itself. That's natural citrine. It's this sort of brownish orange. Okay. Here, you want to play with something? Here, why don't you play with this? There you go. Play with abundance. That sounds great. Bring me some while you're at it. Fantastic. Thank you again so much for being here, Chris. Let's see. Oh no. I'm so sorry to hear your kitty has disappeared. I'll definitely bring in a crystal for that. Okay, so we've got a request for Amazonite. I don't have yellow aventurine. I'm so sorry. That's definitely on the list of stones I need to get. In fact, let me actually physically add it. Yeah, yellow aventurine. Sorry about that. Let me know if there's a different stone you'd like, or what the intention attached with that is, and I might be able to suggest one. But we also have Amazonite out already. So yeah, let me know if there's another one that you would like. I have green aventurine, and I have sunstone. I'm going to put out sunstone. And let's put out the aquamarine that Belinda requested. This helps with the teeth and gums and everything having to do with fluids in the body, aqua. It is also a stone that helps with forgiveness and deflecting pettiness. And again, always helpful, never harmful, especially helpful during the holidays. So let's go ahead and bring this in. Let's see, let's bring you here. There we go. We've also got, oh, peridot was, okay, we did peridot. Sorry about that. We did peridot. And, oh, turquoise. Yeah, I need to add turquoise. Put some crystals that you may know that I don't have, let me know and I'll work on getting them. So turquoise, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I have it written down somewhere, but why not keep it all on one list? Oh, Heart, you got your crystals. I'm so glad. I actually included a note for you, and then I realized today it wasn't in the envelope, so you did just get your crystals, but I'm so glad that you like them. Thank you for ordering them, and I'll send you the other part ASAP. Um, Aquamarine. Maria has the intentions of healing, inviting love and abundance, releasing old limiting beliefs, freedom, soul family, fun, peace, and harmony. I love those. So inviting love and abundance. We have Citrine is helpful for like financial abundance. Inviting in love, there's a couple of good ones for that. Let's bring in Moonstone, because it is the solstice. So let's go with some good witchy vibes. Moonstone can be really helpful with calling in love. This is also a stone that, like the moon would suggest, the moon controls the tides, and we're mostly made of water. So it's very much, our connection to the moon is a lot stronger than we might think it is. This stone helps us to better connect with the cycles of nature and the rhythms of the earth and the rhythms and patterns of astrology. It can help us connect with wisdom, especially if it's versed in like a divine femininity or old women's studies or anything like that. Helps with intuition, very, very much so, and also great for releasing patterns. This is one that, in addition to all of that, can be very protective for travelers, and a lot of folks are going to be traveling this week, so this is a good one to bring in for a lot of reasons. Let's bring these in here and here. Okay. Absolutely love that, so I hope that helps. Limiting beliefs. Moonstone can help. Peridot can help, and so that's out. And freedom, soul family, fun, and peace. Let's go in for some honey calcite. I feel like that actually hits like a lot of those notes. Oh, you want this bag too? Okay. You have good taste. You have good taste. But let me get some crystals out first. So honey calcite helps with optimism in challenging times and attracting good people to work with, to live around, to engage with. So it can, if you're looking for a job, can help attract good colleagues, things like that. So this helps to also balance our solar plexus and our sacral quite a bit. That's so the center of self and how we connect with others. So this is also good for folks who might be renegotiating where they stop and someone else begins, or trying to renegotiate. What are you doing, kitty? Trying to renegotiate better boundaries and things in relationships. This can be helpful too. This cat is a little nuts. You like this one? Okay. So you can see it looks quite similar to yellow calcite, but yet it is just slightly different. But it definitely brings in a lot of joy and happiness, as does yellow calcite. Fun, peace, harmony. Definitely Herkimer brings in a great deal of harmony. I'm also going to bring in carnelian because I feel like this hits a lot of those notes too. Kitty, what are you doing? Okay, this is another one that much like Moonstone, this helps with calling in spiritually significant relationships. So I would use honey calcite and carnelian and Moonstone too for calling in like soul family, like people you're meant to connect with, people you already in a spiritual level are connected with. This also helps harmonize differences in energy among people and among groups. So it's great for work environments where people are just starting to learn who each other are and how to work with each other, or with families, or with really anything, blended families, new roommates, anything like that, can really help connect you with the people you're meant to be connected with. It's also great for things like healing wounds and apathy and laziness too. So we'll bring that in. So I hope that that's helpful. Yeah, you want to play with the crystals? Okay, all the bags belong to you. There you go, babe. Oh, okay, thanks. Oh, I'm glad. But yeah, I think that your intentions were awesome. I have all these good ones. Yeah, Bethany, I think we're, as often happens, like more often than not, we're all working on very similar types of things. And we don't mention this as much as we used to, but a big part of building the grid together is the concept of communal chi really comes in. And we see that in Chinese medicine, but we see it in so many different systems. The more people come together with the same or similar intention, the greater the energy potential is magnified. And because all of us are working on generally similar things, because, astrologically and stuff, and also just when people come together, there tends to be a similarity there. We're essentially like making that communal chi palpably there. Like here it's physically represented in a crystal grid we built together. So yeah, it's very common that there'll be like repeating stones, and also that we'll work with the same stones for a while and then we won't see them for a while. It's kind of wild which ones we're working on for a long time and then all of a sudden we don't see for a while. It's like we're just picking the right ones for us at the right moment. Oh yeah, Jennifer, I will absolutely order some rainbow fluorite from you. And I have a crystal shop linked in the description below. Jen Vatsa also has a crystal shop. If you look on Etsy, it's Belladonna Botanicals. So both are pretty great. But yeah, I will definitely take some of that. I'll actually take a peek at your crystal shop a little bit later. Let's see. We also have Jennifer requested Sunstone. And then Key requested Tiger Eye, Lapis, and Mahogany Obsidian. Red Tiger Eye, gotcha. So Red Tiger Eye helps with protection, whether it's protection from malevolent spiritual work or like mundane kind of low-level stuff, whether it's pettiness like we discussed with aquamarine, or triangulation, or sort of nitpickiness or undermining, whatever it might be, whether it's something small and mundane or big and spiritual. Red Tiger Eye is a potent bit of protection. It's also fantastic for calling in money, especially if you need it quickly. This can be very helpful. So we'll bring in the Red Tiger Eye. And there we go. We have Mahogany Obsidian, which helps with anytime that we're preoccupied with perfection, to the point, especially if it's to the point where you can't get anything done because you feel like it's not perfect enough, it's not perfect enough. This is one that helps us let go of that perfectionism, especially the internalized perfectionism, It's also helpful for folks who were either raised around or treated in any environment like a toxic workplace or a bad relationship where it was you were constantly being put down. You were never good enough. So you were looking for validation in this logical sense of, well, I'll just do better next time. But you'll never be good enough for that person or that group because it was never about how good anything you did was anyway. This helps with letting go of the concept of perfection and inviting in this, good enough is good enough, and a perfect, a less than perfect something is better than a perfect nothing. It really can help ground a lot of that energy of needing validation and feeling like nothing's okay if everything's not perfect. If you struggle with any of that, mahogany obsidian can be really helpful. Also helps if we compare ourselves to others and things like that too. Lapis, like I said before, is pain and inflammation, but also has a lot to do with integrity, clear, honest communication, a good, as my friend Jane would say, a good talk to do ratio. But yeah, and also disorganization and issues around balance, things like vertigo. This can be really helpful for. So that's lapis lazuli. Oh. Okay, and also, an anniversary of a passing. Okay, definitely jet. And I know we've been working with this one for a while, all of us here. Oh, there's where my labradorites went. So this is jet, which is volcanically fossilized wood. Sometimes it's just very, very hot fires, but usually it's volcanic activity. So regular fossilized wood would help us to change internally, where jet actually helps us to deal with grief and loss, especially if it's sudden. But particularly it helps us to be in the present moment, but without being overwhelmed by whatever grief might be going through our hearts, whether it's the loss of a loved one or something that was meaningful to us. But particularly if we're mourning a loved one, this is one that can help us to be present in that grief and be able to process it and work through it without being numb to it or overwhelmed by it. Also does help attract lost animals too. So we'll bring that in, and lots of love to you, Patty. So much love to you. And we also have rhodonite will be helpful for that too. Knees flaring autoimmune. So like we mentioned before, rhodonite I forget what the other one was that I was mentioning, and also I was thinking howlite. Very helpful for joints. Also for bones in general, calcium absorption and things like that. Oh, lapis can be helpful because pain and inflammation. But howlite is like a go-to for joints for sure. Also dumortierite can be helpful if it's like ligaments and tendons, depending on what's going on. In general, also anger and resentment, because it helps us basically be with those really difficult feelings so that we can figure out what changes we need to make. Like anger and resentment are a message that something feels out of balance and something needs to be addressed. And this helps us be less overwhelmed by it, or sort of almost in a way victimized by how powerful those feelings can be, where it motivates us to kind of explode. It helps us to be a little bit more cognizant and aware of what changes we need to make so that the anger and resentment don't continue to stew. So we'll go ahead and put those there. But yeah, I think that'll help the knee. You've also got feeling worthy of blessings. Yeah. Joie de vivre, we've got yellow calcite, feeling worthy of blessings. Mahogany calcite, or mahogany obsidian helps. When you say self-worth, I know that there's other stones that are more specific to that, but I just keep coming back to bloodstone. This is more like self-doubt, but I feel like it also does help with self-worth. It's also an emotional, like, shit hits the fan stone. This is one that helps us to deal with loss and grief as well, especially if it's a loss so intense that it just shakes the ground underneath us. This is one that helps to give us a lift from despair and give us the emotional stamina we need to kind of keep going. But definitely like self-doubt and is it worth it to still go on, that kind of thing. This is a very helpful stone. So I'm going to go with my intuition on that. And I hope that that helps. And I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. And thank you for being here. We'll bring in some garnet as well, because garnet's seriously one of my favorite stones. I mean, I was born in January, but organization, courage to do the things you need to do, helps to motivate and organize and help you find balance in getting things done, as well as stability in times of intense change. But this can even be a matter of just using your time as a resource as wisely as possible. That's really sweet, Bethany. Thank you for sending out that extra love. Got such good vibes in here all the time. We have such good people in here all the time. Oh, yeah. Your Corocar's friend Patty using Key's account. Oh, okay. Key is at work. Well, lots of love to you, Patty. And lots of love to Key as well. JS was just thinking about you. Okay, thanks, Jennifer. And yeah, we are one, absolutely. And self-love, grounding, and feeling your feelings. Okay, cool. Let's do some more amethyst, because I feel like that'll help with Patty and it will help with the self-love that JS is requesting. I'm going to go ahead and use this bigger piece that we seldom use. I love this. Is actually one of the ones we have in my shop, this rough amethyst, and I just love the, like, a lot of times you find, not that it's always this way, but a lot of times amethyst can be heat treated to be darker, or you might just get a darker specimen, but sometimes these like beautiful lavender pieces are just where it's at, and I absolutely dig it. So this is amethyst. It can help with definitely self-love. It helps to kind of lift our mood a bit and the way that we look at ourselves while we're doing any kind of self-improvement or when we are working through any kind of spiritual stuff. But yeah, it really does help with self-care, as does Amazonite is really helpful for that. And we have that out here and here. So let's put some amethyst here close to the Ametrine and the citrine. There we go. And grounding and feeling feelings. And clearing our energy from others. Red tiger eye helps. We're going to do some Dalmatian jasper. This is a stone of clearing our auric field. It's actually got black tourmaline running right through it. And black tourmaline helps to dispel or repel less than great energy. Whether it's your own energy, if you're clearing your own energy as you move through things, or the energy of others, notwithstanding, it just helps keep your energy field clear. And with that, I'm also going to add some black tourmaline. Such a versatile stone that I've even crushed it up and sewn it into curtains. South Philly, tested and approved. And some shungite. This aids tissue repair and physical recovery. It's helpful for energy blocks, emotional pain, like feeling your feelings and like moving it through. So this is definitely in support of JS's request. But it also helps clear the energy field in a very deep way. And it also helps to shield your energy field from other types of influences and energies. So not just other people, but if you're sensitive to electronic equipment or high tension lines or geomagnetic stress, this can be very, very helpful. Ooh. So let's go ahead and put some here and here. So we've got lots to keep other people's energy clear, and one more for kind of feeling your feelings. I like that. So many good ones. Let's see. Yeah, let's do some lepidolite. This can help to like soothe and calm, but also understand your feelings. So you can be in your feelings without necessarily, like if you were having peaks and valleys, like, I don't know why I'm so upset. It just keeps, it just keeps riding the peaks and waves. And even if you do know, like, okay, these are my feelings, I just need to be with them and see what's there, this can help you to better understand them and process them as you experience them. It's also great for releasing patterns that need to go, like thought patterns, mental patterns, emotional patterns, life patterns. And I know we've had that request before, so this is helpful for it. Also good for discerning, like, should I stay? Should I go? If you're having that kind of a quandary. Lepidolite is lithium mica, definitely not for direct infusions. I don't use any stones for direct water infusions, but lithium is actually used in prescription medications, and here it is in its natural form, this sort of mica. You may see this crystal, like if you order it online, it may come to you as almost looking like a purple gummy bear kind of thing, or like look like mica, like there's sheets of it, like traditional mica where it flakes, or like these little pieces of glitter like we have here. Also, this particular specimen even has included some Amazonite. So that's definitely self-care along with it. So I absolutely love these. So let's bring these in. And let's go ahead and do that thing where I pick a couple of stones that balance, that kind of harmonize everything that you all requested, while you all are voting on which one to add to the grid one. Haha. I will quickly explain what Reiki is, and then we will transition into the healing. So just give me a moment to kind of take a peek at all of this. Thank you, Allison. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well today. Let's see. And I currently have a snoring cat on my lap. So the first one is tree agate. Tree agate is sacred in Ayurveda. It's thought to help clear the energy pathways through the body, of which there are many in Ayurveda, and they're referred to as nadis, N-A-D-I. Why it looks kind of like the branches of a tree. So here is one tumbled, and here is one raw that arrived to me as a specimen and just happened to be shaped as a heart, and I knew it was perfect for community distance Reiki. But yeah, I'll be putting this one in the grid. So that'll just help clear energy through our body and get the energy optimized. The other is onyx. Onyx can be very grounding and very protective, but also helps to connect with the energy of our ancestors quite a bit as well. So if you are doing any kind of intuitive work, or if you feel connected to your ancestors, I know we're at a point where the cat is like cleaning herself right under me. So funny. So we've got the solstice, so that's definitely a very spiritual time. We've also got the holidays, which can bring up a lot of memories of those who've passed. So this can help us with that. It can help us connect with that if we want to. It can also help a little bit with processing grief, as well as just grounding in general and energetic protection. So there's onyx, and there's tree agate. Go ahead and use the chat to vote on which one you think would be the best fit for the grid. And hint, hint, you're not limited to just one vote. While you all are doing that, if you haven't already, please go ahead and like the stream. It helps people to kind of find their way here a little bit more frequently. And while y'all are doing that, I'm just going to quickly explain what Reiki is to those who are new to the concept, and then we'll get into the healing. So as I mentioned at the top of the stream, my name's Danielle Stimpson, and I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I've been teaching Reiki for about 14 years, and I teach in the Usui style. This particular method or system was founded in the early 1920s by Mikao Usui, and it was Mikao Usui's influences were very diverse. And as a Japanese gentleman, he had also studied esoteric Buddhism. He was a Tendai Buddhist monk. He studied Taoism, Confucianism, and even early practices of martial arts, including Aikido. So there were many different cultural nuances added into this system, but at its very core, the foundational understanding of just what is energy we can really take from Shintoism, and that's really the way that he worked with energy. It really is akin to Shintoism, which is the indigenous spirituality of Japan, in which everything has a soul and all souls are interconnected and inextricably linked. This sort of we are one, as Bethany so beautifully said earlier. And in this interlinking of individual energies, there are forces at play, one of which is a spiritually guided energy that helps to support our wellness and well-being on the physical, mental, and emotional levels that are flowing through all of us all the time. And that is what Reiki translates to, is spiritually guided soul energy. As we are all interconnected and this force is at play, all of our body, minds, and spirits know this energy, know how to work with it, and are working with it all the time. Essentially, what I'll be doing with Usui's practice is using that particular technique to connect with this energy and direct more of it to you, which supports your body, mind, and spirit to make the most of it to support you in this moment. So every session will feel a little different. You can set special intentions at any time. So even if one comes to mind, like while I'm sending Reiki, that's okay. Just think of it and let it go to the universe. And if you don't have any special intentions, that's also fine, because your body will know where to place it. As I send, you may feel it in your physical body. You may feel it in your emotions. Different emotions may rise up or be released. Mentally, you may have some fruitful thoughts. And spiritually, you may have some intuitions. You don't have to keep your mind silent. You don't have to focus on anything. Sometimes what comes to mind is really helpful. But if your mind is kind of racing, or if you're not sure if it's helpful, just take a deep breath in and out and you'll be great. As the energy transmits to you, and I apologize if you hear some noise in the background. I hear some sirens. I may have to mute in a moment. But as you continue on your session, the only thing that I really suggest is that you support yourself to be as physically comfortable as possible. You can lay down, sit up, close your eyes, keep them open, whatever feels right to you. You can also use this time to kind of enjoy other things. Like if you feel motivated to journal or stretch, do some yoga, write some music. Whatever feels right to you, this time is all about you and some beautiful self-care. But if this ends up being a beautiful nap, awesome. Go ahead, take that nap. You don't have to try to keep yourself to be awake. At the end of the session, which will be about 25 minutes, you'll hear my voice pop back in, and I'll ask you I'll basically suggest to take a deep breath in and out, slowly come back to your body. At that time, I'll reopen the chat and you can ask any questions that you might have or share any experiences that you feel motivated to share. From there, we'll go ahead and we'll call it a day. And during the session, I will bring the lights down. They'll move slowly and gently through several different colors, but at no point will they flash or strobe. And the music, if you love it, which I am kind of partial to it, the musical creator is linked in the description below, all the way at the bottom, and you can go ahead and check out her music and her channel and listen to her tunes all day long if you care to. So everyone else, let's see. I think I hit everything. Yeah, you don't have to do anything except just be. So thank you for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure. And like I said earlier, if you want to learn more about online Reiki classes with me, my community Discord, my crystal shop, or social media, all of it's in the description below. So let's go ahead and dive back into the grid and get into the healing. Awesome. Hey Tina, welcome in. Okay, so we voted for both. So we got both and both. Okay, cool. So we will put in both. And Tina, you would like something to re-energize. You've been tired lately. Rutilated quartz for sure. So glad you are here. Rutilated quartz helps to direct energy exactly where it needs to go, but it also helps to seriously energize us. So if we feel run down, it can help give us the energy we need. If we're getting over being ill or anything, it helps to re-energize us. It also helps to re-energize us if we've just been kind of getting run down over time. It can help to kind of prevent getting, a little bit more physically burnt out. So we'll bring that in. It also helps to balance mind and body. So we'll bring this in here. You're welcome. So glad you're here. So we're going to go ahead and get into the healing. Let's see, maybe I'll switch these around. I'm going to add, so out of the crystals we were voting for, we got both, which is so surprising, except that it's not surprising. It's always both. Because why just have one? There's room for all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the let's see, black onyx. We can do, I know what we can do. Okay. Tree agate. For black onyx, we will put in these smaller pieces that I have. Fantastic. So everyone go ahead and relax. Get comfy. I'm going to start sending some Reiki, and I hope that you have a beautiful session. So I'll see you all in about 25 minutes, which will bring us to exactly 5:30 if you're on the East Coast. I will see you then, and thank you for being here. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly start coming back to your body. If you'd like, you can gently move your fingers and toes. Thank you so much for being here today. It's an honor and a pleasure. Happy solstice. And if you have any questions or anything to share, feel free to go ahead and pop into the chat. Be more than happy to help you sort that out. Thank you, Key. Oh, thank you, Heart, and much the same to you too. All regularly scheduled streams throughout Christmas and New Year's are on as scheduled, and I will be adding in some additional ones. I encourage you to subscribe with notifications on so that you know when those come up, and I will list them at least a little bit ahead of time so that you can get a chance to see them and get ready for them. We'll definitely have one on Christmas Eve. I'm just not sure what time yet. And we'll definitely have our usual stream on Christmas. This is a really special grid. This looks so cute. I like it. So I'll give everyone just another minute or two if you have any questions or anything. Thank you, Tina. Happy holidays to you too. So today is Wednesday, so as usual, there's no stream on Thursday. Friday, I will be here at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. East Coast US time. You're welcome to drop in, and if you need any healing when I'm not live, just come on in and check out the playlist of past healings and enjoy yourself. The Reiki doesn't need to be in the same physical space or even at the same time in order to help support you, because we're all interconnected. So thank you all so much. Take care of yourselves. Have a beautiful holiday season, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care, and bye for now.